everybody, and welcome back to the Diverse Beats podcast. So we are all here again. So you've got Serhat, Jess, and Michael. Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing, guys?
We're
Great,
good.
you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
So today's podcast is a little bit different. So it's not necessarily a question; it's more of a statement. And at some
Bit of ranting.
Sometimes, obviously, this whole podcast is to be educational, it's to be informative for you and to be real. You know, in the music industry, it is very brutal and it can be quite diverse. So we have to be honest with you, and that's what it's all about. So today's topic is the brutal truth. You have to invest in your promo and in your art. So kind of starting off, let's go to it. So firstly, do you guys agree with that statement? Would you say it's a fair statement? Open floor, anyone can go first.
I think with anything you care about, you need to invest in, whether that's financially, energy wise, time, motivation, mental energy. I think, yeah, you've got to invest in anything in some sort of way for it to go anywhere. That's what I would say.
Cool, definitely.
I mean, I've never ever seen anything that is precious to someone to go from point A to point B without the person putting in any kind of effort. Just like Jessica said, it could be investing effort, time. Obviously, in some cases, it could be a financial investment, which is needed on most of the occasions. But some people, however, think that because they have the passion for it, when the time is right, it will happen sort of mentality. That's what kind of mentality they have. But I hate to break it down to you guys. That's not how it works. You have to invest time, and if it's needed, your precious money as well.
Yeah. Michael, what about you?
100%. Couldn't agree more. I'm a firm believer in you get out what you put in. So the minute you decide to take your foot off the gas could be your time. In regards to investing in yourself, that just shows how serious you're going to take yourself as well. You know, you want the presentation and the execution to be on a level where you're satisfied before you put things out. So why wouldn't you? Really, it's a no-brainer. Especially we're talking about champion independence. You're going to be at the forefront, footing that bill, making sure that things are covered. You don't want to be someone on the sideline waiting for a yes or a no. And that's what people. That's what I recommend everyone kind of get to grips with in doing the independent route, because that's going to be the first and the most thing that's going to come up within your career.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, when we talk about investing, it's not, we don't expect you to start a trader's account or start cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, as everybody has said, spending a bit of money on promo. Now that can be radio plugin, it can be, press, it can be anything like that. And we're not saying that you have to spend thousands and thousands of pounds on your promo or on graphic designers, but at some stage in your career where you're kind of at this level, but you're wanting to get to that level, you are going to have to make that sacrifice. And I understand how difficult it is. Obviously, money kind of makes the world go round, and we earn our money, we work hard for our money. And at some stage you think, well, that's £300, that takes X amount of hours to make. I haven't got that. And that's fine. And that's kind of leads me on to my next question. It's, what are your 3 best free promo tips for anybody watching this who maybe isn't in the right financial situation right now? I don't want this to kind of go out and people think, well, I can't get to where I want to be because I haven't got that financial situation right now. So what would be your 3 best free promo tips for people to start doing right now until they're ready to be able to invest?
I personally, if I go first, sorry everyone, I would say again, like, it's a music business. Businesses run off of whether it's monetary, financial value, or as you said, it's effort, putting time and motivation in. And I think one way that people can put effort and time in is maybe, putting hours into learning a social media course and how to present yourself online, how to understand how branding works, and then start maybe creating your own social media posts. And then you've got a portfolio of ideas of how you want to market yourself for when you're ready to, get somebody else in to help you out better. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Cool. Michael, what about you? Oh, sorry, Serhat.
No, go, Michael.
I've done it again.
That's fine, no problem. Go for it, Michael.
I would say mine's kind of similar to Jess's, to be honest. I feel like you should be resourceful. You know, if okay, with finances, a lot of people shy away from it as soon as you kind of get into the crunch kind of thing. You know, obviously being at Diverse Beats, and you know, we have a lot of people that we approach and things like that. It's like, okay, yeah, we can offer you this. We tailor certain, and then as soon as you mention money, then it's kind of like the elephant in the room. But it needs addressing. It does need addressing, you know. And I feel like if you're not financially in a position to afford any of these things, then go down another route and be resourceful in what you want to do and learn about marketing. Study these people that you kind of want to kind of be like in regards to how they go on a where you can kind of get to how to do it for free and things like that, so you're not kind of stumbling going forward, you know. So there are ways around things. It's just about educating, sitting down and taking that time out, and even that within itself is an investment, you know.
I completely agree there, especially with Michael, how you said be resourceful. I mean, if you're connected with other people in the industry, whether even that's at a basic level, you might have a skill that they don't have. You know, you could master a track for them, and then in return they'll teach you about, I don't know, social media analytics or something. I think always ask as well, because people rarely say no.
Absolutely.
My opinion about, and your question was to mention 3 ways of promoting yourself for free, right? So I'd say first and foremost, I agree with definitely Jessica and Michael as well. Being able to network with all this power in our hands, social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, blah blah blah, so many places, so many people. All right, I mean, we are in 2021, and let's just be fair, let's just be honest and straightforward, that everybody, even my daughter, has a smartphone right now. Everyone has a smartphone. So what I'm trying to come at is that if you have a smartphone, that means the world is within your grasp. Everything is on your smartphone. You can go create an account, start connecting with people, start asking people, hey, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, how can you help me? Can you help me? If not, can you show someone that can help me? You know what I mean? Facebook is there, LinkedIn is there, Twitter is there, Instagram is, everything is there, hashtags, blah blah, so many things. All you have to do is to sort of spare a little bit of time each and every single day, keep it on a consistent level where gradually you will see improvements on a daily basis, and eventually someone is going to open that door that you're knocking on, and they're going to tell you, hey, I'm here to help. What do you need? It's simple as that.
No, Jess, I really like your point about, you know, kind of transferring skills. So in terms of if someone is there to be able to, you know, master your track, as you say, and you have some social media skills, then absolutely, you know, you're all trying to make it in the world, and you're all trying to start out, so why not support each other? It's, you know, it's not a competition. And I think that's what we need to remember. You know, the industry, yes, it's very competitive, and yes, you know, it can feel like, you know, you're always trying to be ahead of other people, but it is important to support others and show that connection with others, because then, you know, in return they'll support you. And I think just leading on from that, I think for me, you know, it would be learn how to do your own promo videos, learn how to do your own promo posts if you don't want to do videos as such. I mean, typically photos and videos will be, or videos more so, will be received better from the consumer. So if you can do videos, then just go ahead and do that. There's loads of great sites that you know, are accessible and free. There's Canva for starters, that is what we use, and that's really good. And then you can just use iMovie if you've got a Mac, you know, and that's free. Or if, you know, you do want to go that next step, you can have another tool that is going to be really beneficial for you. But it's about learning those skills, and also, you know, just word of mouth. I know that sounds really, really simple, but that is your best form of promo, because you can go to a networking event, you can go to, you know, you can go to the pub, look, the beer gardens are open, you know, go to the pub, tell someone about your music. You don't have to drone on, you don't have to, you know, keep talking through the ear, you can just, when someone says, oh, what do? You can say, oh, I've or what have you been up to? Oh, I'm just working on my new track. Here, take a listen. And that's free, that's simple. And it sounds really, really simple and something that wouldn't be classed as free promo or promo at all, but it is, just word of mouth. And then also, contacting people. Is there some influencers online that you can contact, or upcoming influencers? I think influencer marketing at the minute is kind of taking its peak, and it's doing really, really well. You've got the likes of TikTok and Instagram that are kind of both battling against each other, and TikTok for influencers is huge, and that's kind of if you can get your track on there and it goes viral, let's say on one video, you're going to look at your Spotify for artists, or your iTunes or Apple Music for artists, and you're going to see them streamed, and you haven't really done anything. You've just got in contact with an influencer. Definitely. Some of them want money, but if they're kind of up and coming, you can kind of negotiate with them, and that's based on what the influencer does. You can say, oh, I'll bring this much traffic or anything like that. It's just making those first initial connections, not being afraid to, because you'll probably message 10 people, one might get back to you, but that's one more person than you had this morning than before you started. So when we say promo, it doesn't have to be a big music video, it doesn't have to be anything large, it can be something as little as just talking to people. Sorry, I'll stop rambling now.
I completely agree there, especially with more gigs and stuff happening now, and more music spaces opening back up. I think consumers have a whole need for creativity and seeing things live in person, but as well, if you consistently surround yourself at gigs in the scene, if you can, you never know who you're going to meet. Influential people go to gigs all the time. If you just get talking to people in the waiting room, or in the line outside, or in the concert itself, they could be an A&R for a record label. They could be anyone. So I think just always have a positive approach, be friendly to everyone, and it will get you far.
Absolutely. I mean, a great example of that is I just went to, well, not today, but last week I went to donate blood, and one of the nurses who was pulling the wire out, we were just chatting because it can take quite a while, and she said, oh, what do you do? And I explained, I work for Diverse Beats, I'm a musician, and she actually is a A&R manager at a company, and the only reason she's doing nursing is because of COVID, because the market is obviously struggling at the moment. We're coming out of lockdown and everything, so hopefully the music industry will pick up. And I was just looking at this woman, and I was like, what?
Did you get her email? Did you get her email?
Always on the business.
Come on. I'll be like, listen, email please, straight away.
I'm going back in August. I'll tell you, don't worry. All right, I'll make a trip tomorrow. But no, it just goes to show you, as Jess quite rightly said, you never know who you're going to bump into, and you never know who they might know. We said it in the last podcast, I believe. Everybody, this industry is very small, so you need to make sure that you're being professional at all times, and approaching yourself and conducting yourself, in the best way possible. So cool. So thinking about, an artist right now, we understand money can be an issue. That's why our prices are quite low. So they are accessible in comparison to a lot of radio plugin companies. But how can an artist decide when is the right time to invest? Is it that they have £300 in their account and, they take a $250 campaign, the pro level, and then they have £50, or is it that they have to wait till they've got £1,000 in the bank, and then it doesn't seem a big chunk? I mean, what would your guys' advice be? Of course, everybody's situation is different, so I just want to say anything that we say on this podcast, it isn't, you don't have to take it literal. We don't want to be in anybody's bad books for debt or anything. But what would be your advice?
I'd say I'd go first if you like. I'd say do not ever invest the money you're going to survive on. So if you have £300, don't go and invest 250. Then you're going to struggle. My honest opinion would be just wait and invest in a way where you're going to be able to survive on a daily basis, and it's not going to affect your day-to-day life. That's definitely my opinion. That's what I would say.
I think as well, when money starts to come into your craft and your passion and your creativity, a lot of the time it can end in resentment if it doesn't go particularly the way that you planned. And I think if you were to spend, say, 75% of your bank account on a promo, and maybe it doesn't go as far as you want it to, I think you'd maybe start to end up resenting being creative, and you might think, oh, maybe this isn't for me. And I think it'd be better to wait until you've got, I don't know, a larger amount of money and it's not so much of a chunk coming out.
Exactly.
Michael, what about you?
Definitely, I couldn't agree more. I'd say, like, if you can't afford it twice or 3 times, and just sit back, you know, you'll benefit from it in the long run. You never know. Hiccups happen all the time in life, so
A hiccup, exactly.
around or whatever, you know, thing, in my opinion.
Sorry, Michael, will you just repeat that? Your signal went, we got up to hiccup, and then we had a hiccup.
Sorry. I was just saying, like, to be financially stable is.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
Today he's the one that's suffering from bad internet. Last week it was me, I believe, wasn't it?
I was going to say, actually, Serhat, your screen's a lot clearer
Main
today.
thing, so don't break yourself down just to get. Now I'm being cut blocked by the signal, innit?
I know, man. Twice now. Can we have it one more time, please? Is it possible? Sorry, I know. I'm sorry.
Should I do this? Okay,
on,
basically what I was saying. It's not me. It's the devil, bro.
I know, man.
Basically, to be financially stable is the main thing. So, you know, don't break yourself down trying to get to a certain position and you can't go forth from that, really.
I think
No, you go.
I was going to say, I think just a quick tip as well. I think it might be good to have a separate maybe savings account or bank account altogether, regardless of your, you know, monthly income, where you'd put maybe any money that you make from your creativity and your music, or you want it to go towards that, put that in a separate account. So all that money would just be used for stuff to do with your music. That's what I would suggest.
That's a really good point there. Definitely.
Like an artist fund for yourself.
Definitely.
Straight in the Monzo.
And
they need to sponsor us, by the way, you know, need to sponsor us.
Exactly.
plug in that, forget that.
Monzo.
No, I would absolutely agree, and I think that goes for anything just in your day-to-day life as well. You know, I mean, I'm bad for it as well, so I'm going to own up here. But you know, you get your paycheck, you get your wages, and you're like, right, okay,
let's go to shopping.
Like, you know, you like to see that figure in one account, and you're like, okay. But it does help to split it. So have almost like little pots. I think on Monzo you can actually create pots, can't you?
100%.
And have it kind of like as your bills, have it as your food shop, fuel, whatever, you know, and then have it, you know, we are in a world where people do want to have buy a house eventually, have a mortgage. So maybe put a little bit away from that. If you want to travel, put a little bit away from that. Make sure that it's not going to affect your goals. But you know, then create another little pot, even if it's 10, 20 pounds a month, or just, you know, $5, it doesn't matter. That is going to accumulate, it's going to build up. I mean, we're not doing a money saving.
Diverse Beats becomes financial consultancy.
I would definitely not be on here if that was
definitely. I'll just be a blank face. I wouldn't even do it.
Another great app, which just to add that little bit in, another great app is called Plum, and this kind of, I use it, and this is really, really good. So it's like a savings account, and what it does is, you know, those like £9.50 transactions that you make, or £9.99 or whatever. It rounds everything up to £1. So that 50p, that 50p goes into a savings account, and then all of a sudden you've got £100, and you haven't actually noticed that. So if you can do that and have that almost as your artist account, then you're going to see that building, and it just is a great way that you're not noticing money going off, if that's kind of your main concern and worry. But equally, not to contradict what we're saying, I do think you do have to invest in your art, and it comes at any stage of your career. We're not saying that you have to spend 30k on a music video or anything like that. Even if it's £50 on a photo shoot, or even, it sounds silly, but even studio time, that's an investment. And that's not necessarily promo, but that's going to bring you through to the opportunity to be able to get promo. Don't forget, when you release music, yes, okay, there's not a huge amount of money in the industry until you get to a certain level. But when you do release that music, Spotify, Apple Music, all these different platforms will give you some royalties. And especially if you're going to be playing live now, you can, submit that to PRS and PPL, your track list, and you can get money from there. So there are different areas. So make sure that you're educating yourself in how you can see that return as well. That would be my main bit of advice. Has anybody else got anything to add, or do you want me to move on to the next question?
No, I don't have anything.
Can you please text me the name of the app that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I will do.
Please.
It's really good.
Yeah, it sounds it, to be honest.
I'm liking that.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah. No, it's a really, really good app, honestly. But I'll send it in the chat so everybody can see it as well. I'll send you my referral code, then I get some money.
Oh no!
Look at
this. She's balling next week.
Oh yeah, that promo.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh wow.
Oh, funny. Brilliant. So what would you guys say are examples of paid promo? So I know that sounds like a really daft question, but some people might not be aware, what we mean by promo. So maybe just your top 3 examples of paid promo.
I would say anything you can think of can be monetized. Anything done by another person can be monetized, whether that's an Instagram story, as we said, like a music video. It could be a mention on a radio station, a short ad on an online YouTube video. Any type of online awareness, I would say, could be paid for, could be promo.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Cool.
What about paid adverts on Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah.
Or even LinkedIn? I mean, or
exactly.
you just straight. You don't even. I know we are running a radio plugin company, and that's fine. But there are other ways of promoting yourself. You don't even need to go to a radio plugin company. You can just go straight to the application itself. Facebook and Instagram. Now, when you're promoting something on Facebook or Instagram, it goes onto both platforms at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's a win-win situation. So even if your budget is £10, you can still run a promo for £10, and you can actually pick your audience, where they want them to be based, the location, the age group, even if you want them to be male or female. And it goes down to a very, very, very good details. And then you can actually create your very own crowd, and then set your budget 10, 15, 20, even if it's a $5, or run it for 1 day to up to 100 days. The cost is yours. And then just run your promo. You don't even need to go to another company. So that's out there waiting for you. All you have to do is just break yourself through from that, the scarcity that you have. But what if my money goes to waste? So what? It's £5, £10. You have to do it. It's your craft.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think as well, you never know, even in terms of ads, you never know who's going to see that ad. That £5 you put in could end up getting you, I don't know, I mean, unlikely, but maybe a big record deal. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
you've got to try before, you know, you don't do it. You know, if you want to succeed, you've got to take, it's a risk you're going to have to take. And that's, I think, what a lot of people within the industry are very scared of. You know, a lot of, I mean, when we chat to people, they say, oh, well, you can't guarantee radio play. And it's like, no, because we're not going to sit here and lie to you. We're an honest company. You know, if we were going to say, yeah, we'll get you on Radio 1, yeah, we'll, you know, we'll get you in America or whatever, we'd be lying. And then, you know, eventually when the campaign ends and we send over all the details and we send over all the feedback, you'll be like,
where was my play?
You know, so you're going to get found out anyway. So I think, you know, I forgot the main reason for saying that. Oh yeah, take risks.
Take risks.
That's it.
I think that all comes down to, again, just having integrity as an artist and faith in yourself that what you're putting out is good. Yeah,
absolutely. Michael, what about you?
I feel like in this game, in regards to what you guys have stated, I feel like in this game, the middleman actually makes most money off, you know, these people kind of bringing their work forward. Say there's like companies like Submit Hub where you can pay to submit to like playlist curators and things like that. So what you're doing essentially is going through someone else to get a direct link to the playlist curators. So that's another form of investment, you know.
Exactly.
See what kind of genres, specific playlists there are, and what these guys want to hear, what they're more in, stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah. Oh shit! I'm a pause again.
Oh dear.
Hey, bro.
Dude, my head in, you know.
That's fine, man. It's fine.
It was better than the last one. We actually heard little snippets. So yeah, you were kind of saying.
Nah, the devil's working overtime today, and
oh god.
But no, you're right. You know, there are other companies out there like Submit Hub, like Daily Playlist, and Burstamo have just brought out something called Playlist Hunter, where you can put in your genre and then they bring up all the playlist curators. The only way they're making money from that, from what I could see anyway, is you do have to pay a subscription. So they'll give you all the names and Instagram names and emails of these playlist curators, tell you how much how many followers it's got, and then you contact them directly. So they're done it really, really clever. Actually, you're still making that initial contact, you're still making that networking opportunity, you're paying them a fee to, you know, upload all this database and stuff, but you're then still making those connections. Whereas with Submit Hub, you are making them connections, but it's
less personalized.
You just kind of can select 5 or whatever, can't you? And then you send it off, which is fine, you know, because once someone accepts, it's definitely a great tool to use. Once someone accepts, that's some press coverage there, and you know, you can do you get free credits on there, or you can have premium credits on Submit Hub. So you know, if you haven't got that budget, you can still try and get some press going, which is really great. And I mean, as everybody said, I don't think you have, you know, paid promo has to be anything over the top. It can be that photo shoot. It can be, you know, getting on the radio. It can be, you know, as Serhat said, some radio ads or some Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever your platform is going to be best used on. So if you have more followers on Instagram, I would suggest running it on Instagram if you don't want to pay for both, and then you can be really targeted on there. And I mean, we've all had it on Instagram, you know, where it's coming on your feed or it's coming on your story, and you think you're scrolling through, you think, oh, who's that? And then, you know, you might find someone might find you and think you're the best thing since sliced bread. So
whatever your aim is, whatever, if you want to grow on Instagram or Facebook, go for Instagram, Facebook promos. If you want to grow, you know, if you want to get your song heard on the radio, then go to radio pluggers. Or if you want to be heard on a TikTok, then go to TikTok influencers. It's just, it's all out there, you know. And it comes with all sorts of budgets. You don't always have to be extravagant. You don't have to spend thousands. You could just close the deal for like 50 quid or 20 quid sometimes. You know.
I think you've got to look at yourself as an artist, and you've got to think, where is the gap? You know, can you have to think, can I, you know, spend a few hours a day learning about social media or, video making, yeah, you probably could. I'm not saying that the people that are professionals in that industry aren't great, and I'm sure they could do it to a very high skilled level, but you can learn the basics is what I'm trying to say. Now, you can have instrument lessons, you can have vocal lessons, things like that are going to really help you as an artist. But if, say, your gap in your whole campaign is radio, and you're not prepared to spend the hours it's going to take to build those contacts, and the thing is, you can spend the hours and get 5 replies. As I said before, that's 5 replies and 5 contacts that you've made. But if you want it to be more of a instant response, come to people like the radio pluggers, like us, and go to the people that can help you. We've said it before, it's about a hand-in-hand industry, and it's about kind of helping. People need to be supportive in this industry, and in order to be supportive, you've got to be a supporter. And that would be my advice.
Definitely.
Cool. So we've touched on it a little bit in regards to Facebook ads, Instagram ads, but what tools can be used for an artist to either find people to do the promo or do the promo themselves?
I think possibly look at maybe note down, take a week or 2 weeks and note down ads which captivate you, which have sparked your attention and made you go over to Spotify or made you look at somebody's page. And then you could even direct message them and ask, okay, what promotional services did you use for this? And then get in contact with that company. Or look at similar artists, what they're doing in that genre, and look at adverts that captivate you. That's what I would say.
A good competitor analysis. Love that.
Michael, what do you say, bro?
I'm afraid to kind of talk,
Why?
You'll be silenced.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just brief it. I'm just gonna say, just make everything personalized to what your brand is about, and make it. How can I say it now? Has everyone paused again, or is it me?
No, you're fine.
We're listening.
We're just worried.
Got me on edge, Got me on edge. Just make it. Just.
Oh damn!
It's connections got me on ropes. I'm sorry, everyone out there is watching the podcast, but it's not easy out here, man. I didn't burn sage last night. That's why. But anyway, I'd say make everything personalized to what you and your brand are about, so nothing gets misconstrued in your approach and how you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, cool. So, what about you?
Can I get the question again, please?
Yeah, what tools can be
used? Did I answer that question properly? Actually,
I think so. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. You were talking about branding, kind of moving that on to different platforms.
Nah. You have to run that back.
Yeah. Yeah, you go first then. You go first. It's fine.
Okay, go on then. So the question is, I will repeat the question. What tools can be used? So Serhat, you touched.
Yeah.
Your volume gone down, Nicole. Your volume has gone down.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's actually gone now.
Gone.
No, gone. Technical issue.
Spooky episode this week.
Technicals today.
What about now?
Now, perfect.
Hello.
I see you're back.
Oh, hello. Sorry, everybody.
It's all
Oh,
right.
we're not doing very well, me and you, Michael. Must be on the right side.
Yeah.
So the question is, what tools can be used? So Instagram ads, Facebook ads, things like that would be great.
Well,
Michael.
Yeah, go on, Michael's fine. Yeah, go.
Instagram ads, Facebook ads. Now you're right. Is certain different ones that I would approach. So it's Google ads,
YouTube,
Google ads. I feel like they are very, very powerful. YouTube as well. Obviously, that comes with the Google as well. That is very. I find myself even watching the video before the video on YouTube nowadays. With such good material coming out, So that would be one for me personally.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's actually what we got to do as well. We have to do that.
Definitely
100%.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion is exactly the same. I mean, hey, don't let me laugh, please. Come on, let's get serious right now. I'm just joking. Honestly, we talked about all of them in the previous chat anyway. So we did mention Instagram, Facebook. Now Michael added YouTube, Google, that which comes together as a package. If you are a DJ and not a producer, so you just DJ basically, because there are a ton of people out there who are just happy to be just a DJ. They just make mixes and upload them on Mixcloud. So if that's your route, then you can actually upload your mix to Mixcloud and promote it as a paid promo on Mixcloud as well. Or get the link, whatever. If it's your music, you're a producer, or you're just a DJ or whatever. If you're a singer, you can create nice promo adverts on almost every single social media platform that's out there. And as I mentioned earlier as well, you decide the budget, you decide the crowd, and then you just put it out there and just hope for the best. So yeah. Cool,
brilliant. And do you think it's genre specific, or like in terms of how you will approach it, or do you think it's paid promo is an overall thing that happens in every genre and should be addressed in every genre?
Sorry, Serhat.
That's fine.
I was just going to say, I think, in any aspect of the music industry, you will encounter paid promo, and that will be what advances you to probably the greatest level. But I do think sub level, I do think there are specific ways in different genres that are the most effective, because that's where that audience lies.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, on Facebook, you can actually choose. You can actually mention, house music lovers or UK garage music or techno, you know what I mean? So you can actually specify as, the genre of the music you want to promote it to, because obviously people now on all these platforms, now they can actually put down hobbies for a while now.
Yeah.
So if you're a techno lover, it says I'm a techno lover. If you are a fisher, if you go for fishing, it says that fisher. So, when you... Exactly. So how that helps is if you are like a I don't know, if you have a car dealership and your potential clients did mention on their profile that they are in love with cars as a hobby, then it pops up to their screen, or oh shit, it's a new car dealership, let me go check. So I mean, you can actually you can do it.
You can target. And I think a great thing, just listening to you say that, Serhat, brought me an idea is, we've spoken a lot on this particular podcast about supporting others and being the supportee as well. If let's say you have a track and you think it would do really, really well on, say, I don't know, a car dealership advert or an advert, kind of create it already, and then you can send it to the this car dealership or the desired place, and you can say, look, I've made this advert, I've done this for you, and then if they run that on their page, and you're going to get some more listeners, and you just make sure that they credit for you as well. They can pay for that, and that's another way of kind of them helping you versus you helping them. But also that's a really, really good way to be pitching to music supervisors, to be able to get your track on, say, Love Island or those national TVs shows that you want to get it on, movies, anything like that. If you music supervisors, I mean, we might do a separate podcast on it, but they get so many submissions a day, so you have to stand out, similar to the record label podcast that we did last time. And if you can already be one step ahead of people by creating, getting a Love Island scene or a Towie scene, and then having your music over it, then they can visually see where it should be going and how your music fits. Then you have a better chance on getting on Love Island, on Towie, as your music, and that can really blow up as well. So sorry, I know that went off a bit off topic. It's just something I thought of, and I thought if I don't say it now, I'll forget. But I think what everybody said in terms of genre, I think it's paid promo is across all music, it's across every single genre, as Jess, you quite rightly said. I think what you need to be aware of and conscious of is if you are going to go to radio plugger to a press cover place, you have to make sure that your music is right for them and they have the contact. So if you're a dance musician, don't go to a rock radio plugger, or make sure that when you're having the calls with them or you know, the emails with them, make sure that they do have those contacts. Of course, they might not be able to disclose all of their contacts with you, but just make sure that, you know, there are a few people on their database, or that they've worked with previous, that it does match the people that you want to be able to get pitched to, because otherwise you are going to see, when you run a promo with them, you're not going to be as happy with the outcome, and you're going to maybe class that as a wasted promo, and then that'll kind of just devour your thoughts in kind of how effective paid promo is, you know, and that's kind of what we do. We try and restore people's faith in radio and in press companies, because they do get a bad name, and it's understandable why they get a bad name, but you just need to make sure for you as an artist it's right for you as an artist. Michael, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you like to say something? Are you brave enough?
No.
We heard that one.
I'd say it's needed, you know, in regards to the paid promo side of things. I feel like everything that we've actually talked about, oh my God, is it doing it again?
It's not.
No. All good. Oh, actually.
Okay, I can literally just hear what you just said in it. Can you hear me now?
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
We were hearing you. It was fine.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
It did actually freeze, but I feel like everything what we've talked about, everything what we've covered thus far in the podcast, what we're talking about actually makes the industry go around, you know. So okay, you're paying him for the promo, you know, you're the artist paying them, which leads to them going to like the curators or the people that do editorials and things like that. It actually makes this industry what it is. So what I would say is, like, when you're listening to what we're saying, don't be disheartened by having to put your money in your pocket or anything like that, because that's just the way of the world, you know. And like, obviously, partner and partnerships, like, this is what we need to do to make the industry grow and, you know, kind of make a change in the culture as well, because we need the foundations, and these foundations are sometimes built off like the financial things that can kind of make us, you know, put us in better positions, kind of thing. So
yeah, and I think that's a really great point. You know, we haven't made this podcast or this episode to make anybody feel that they have to spend hundreds of pounds or look at themselves differently. What we wanted to do, and our whole aim when creating this podcast, was to just be honest with you, because as I said at the start, if we're not honest, then, you know, you can kind of go into the industry blindsided, and then you're not going to achieve what you possibly could do if you're not educated about it. And that's the whole reason that we're making it. We're not saying go out tomorrow and spend all your life savings. We're not saying that. We're just saying it's something to think about. And if, you know, you want to do some savings now for maybe in 6 months' time, drop another song, and then you can do some paid promo, I think you really, really will see the differences from this track that you had no promo on to this track that you will. And that's what it's about. It's about always, with each release, you're stepping it up and you're making sure that you're doing better networking wise, but also stream and followers wise. And you're always just improving for yourself. So yeah, this podcast isn't, you know, saying because you haven't spent money, that's why you're not where you want to be. It's not about that, or it's not true. And, you know, as I say, you know, we're all musicians. We understand it's very difficult, and we're not saying we do it right all the time. It's just something that we wanted to be honest about, and we wanted to kind of touch on so everybody is aware and maybe has a better insight of what it can mean to you as your career.
Yeah, I completely agree there.
Brilliant.
I didn't know if you wanted to add anything, so I was just like,
no, I don't have anything else to add, but yeah.
No? Cool. Serhat?
Well said.
No, it's well said, Nicole. You've said it quite well, and I couldn't agree with you more. You definitely said it into the finest detail. One thing I would add We've mentioned all kinds of promos you can do for yourself as an artist. We're not here bragging about, oh, come to us, pay us money, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I personally quite well actually promoted Instagram and Facebook ads more than our services, because we don't want people to think that, look at these, like, you're trying to put. No, obviously, as I said to you earlier as well, it all depends on your needs. If you want your music to be on the radio, well, our Facebook ad is not going to do it for you. I'm sorry. So you have to come to us, or go to a company like us.
Yeah.
It could be X, Y, Z. You don't have to be us. You could just go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you have to first specify and decide what your need is.
Yeah.
You have to first note it all down. Cool. I want radio plays, or I want DJs to play my song all around the world, or I want blah, 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 blah. Once you decide that, then you can actually create a pathway and follow that along the side, and then you could just make it happen for yourself. But we talked about it throughout this podcast quite a few times. There are all kinds of different promos out there. You just need to be able to break your chains and just go through it, and start with small amounts. Don't go extravagant. Don't go all out there. Don't forget, you have to pay your bills. You have to eat. You have to survive. You got this and that. Consider all of this, and invest accordingly.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Definitely.
And I think it's a great point. We would love to work with any artist, as long as they're right for us, and equally we're right for them. And we would and that's just because we like to see people succeed. We like to see people achieve their dreams, but there are other ways. And if you want to do that independently, that's absolutely fine. And we're not saying that that's a lesser success rate or anything like that. It is a lot more accessible. You can find Annie Mac's email online, or whoever it is that you want to attract, you can find them. The only reason kind of we're here is to offer that support and maybe give a bit more of a faster route, if you like. But whichever way that anybody wants to go is never a right or wrong. As long as it's right for you, then it's fine in the end. And that's all you can do. You have to stay true to yourself throughout the process, because as long as you can say, I did everything that I can, and I did it sensibly, would be the word I would use, not throwing your money away or anything like that, then you're successful already before you've even started any promo, because you've stayed true to yourself and you've done what's right for you as an artist.
Yeah, no, I completely agree there. I completely agree.
Your internet is catching your coughing, all right, but it's not allowing you to speak. What is going on?
Oh, you're so funny.
God.
Cool. Has anybody got anything to add before Michael coughs again?
No.
Or are we good?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something, but I don't even want to get a cough again.
Is it Michael? Is it Michael? Cut out.
I was going to say.
Yeah. You can't remember now.
No. It's in relation to what you were saying earlier, Nicola, with the, when you're Kanye, favors just get done for you. So put in the groundwork now, build the foundation now, because when you get to where you want to be as an artist, as an entrepreneur, whatever you want to be in, it's going to get easier, and people are going to want to do these favors for you. So maintain your relationships, spend money, invest in yourself, because it will pay off later and it will get much easier.
100%.
Definitely. Brilliant. Well, thank you everybody for your insight and for giving some really great points. I've had a lot of fun anyway. It was good. And I think that people listening will really, don't make me laugh. We'll find it really, really helpful. And as always, if you do have any questions, anybody, then please do get in touch. You can find us all on Instagram, or you can go over to our Diverse Beats promo Instagram as well. We're always there, always happy to help. And thank you very much for listening, and we hope you have a lovely day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and do send in any topics that you'd like us to cover, and we're happy to do that as well. So thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.